Hi, my name is Bill Selvig, and I am thrilled to be here with you today. Thank you for taking the time out of the day to spend just about 20 minutes with me to learn about how you can help your dental clients, or if you're a dentist watching, increase the revenue for your practice. My Practice 9 is an Orange County dental software application company. My business partner and I have over 40 years in the dental industry. We have seen so many changes and so many things impacting the general dentist that we just thought there's got to be a better way to help general dentists gather more revenue, create more value for their practice, and take care of their patients better. So we created My Practice 9. In today's webinar, I've got 3 goals. I want to go over industry history, kind of what led us to this point. I want to go over some basic revenue and income numbers. And then I want to do a quick 20,000 foot view on how easy the app is to use. General dentists have traditionally referred out most of their specialty treatments. Specialty treatments done by a trained specialist, whether it be an oral surgeon, a periodontist, an endodontist, are a great source of revenue. We've seen a growing trend where general dentists are, with a handshake, bringing traveling specialists into their office, and they're splitting the treatment revenue. And we just felt like that's a great model, but there's a better way to do it. And so we thought, how can we help the general dentist recapture some of the $150,000 to $200,000 per year of specialty treatments that they're referring out? It's also against the law for a general dentist to be compensated from the specialist, no kickbacks. We like to refer to that whole process as the $184,000 bottle of wine. You refer the work out, you don't get any money back, but at the end of the year, you get a bottle of wine, get a basket of goodies. The other thing that's really a problem for referring out work is that you lose control of the patient and their diagnosis and their fundamental experience. Those are some of the things that really motivated us to create My Practice 9. I have a dental friend who referred a patient out for 2 implants. Patient showed back up 4 months later with 6 implants. The patient was mad when she found out that it was going to cost a lot more money to complete the treatment. And the general dentist was mad because the treatment that he had planned wasn't going to be able to be executed. And in reality, it was a very difficult case. And in the end, it cost both the patient and the doctor a lot of money that really didn't have to happen if the specialist would have done what the general dentist had prescribed. We want to see the treatment coordination back in the hands of the general dentist. In addition, My Practice 9 will allow a general dentist to compete with the large dental service organizations or the large dental corporate groups. As a general dentist, you cannot compete with the marketing dollars and the way that a dental service organization or corporate dental group works. My Practice 9 allows you to do that. We like to refer to it as on-demand group practice services. Today, you can choose to bring certain specialty treatments back into your office. That's going to allow you to retain control of the patient, provide that experience that they've come to know. When a patient shows up to your office, they are going to see the same parking lot, they're going to see the same entrance, they're going to see the same lobby, the same receptionist. They're going to have a level of comfort that they don't get when they're either referred out or they're being shuttled off to another office. By bringing these services into your practice, you're going to see an increase in patient acceptance on these types of treatments. Let's talk a little bit about some of the revenue aspects that kind of go into a high-level look at how My Practice 9 can really help your practice. We're going to go over some net income, some gross billing numbers, and some practice valuation. These numbers are based on averages. Some are going to be better, some are going to be worse. And quite honestly, if you start bringing in some of the specialty treatments into your practice, you're actually going to start to find out that you're going to see that there's a lot more patients in your patient base that would be candidates for certain types of treatments, and they're going to be more receptive to following through with these treatments because it's being done in your office, a place where they're familiar with. Let's talk about net income. These numbers are from the ADA, and we have fundamentally seen a very turbulent net income over since 2005, 15 years. If we take a look at it, in 2005, net income was about $172,000. Last year, or the latest year that the ADA published, 2018, was $175,000. Now there's some ups and downs in there, but in general, net income has been flat average across the country. And for about a 5 or 6 year period, from about 2010 through 2015, 2016, it was actually flat or declining. That net income impact has got to be addressed some way. And one of the best ways to do that is to bring more profitable work into your practice. Now let's take a look at gross billings. Gross billings has actually been on a slight rise or income. So you're going to ask yourself, well, why would I be seeing more gross billings and less net income? Well, part of it's going to be that insurance companies are reimbursing less. It's costing you more with employees, and it's also costing you more with materials and rent. So without that growth of kind of high income work, it's tough to increase your net revenue. Practice valuation. This is really kind of fun. I used numbers from the ADA. Typically when a dental office is sold, it's one of the valuation markers is to take a look at revenue and give it a multiplier. In this particular example, I used a 4x multiplier. If you take a look at the base numbers, which are in blue, and you put a 4x multiplier on it, and then you look at the additional 200,000, I bet you if you really start to dig in through your patient base, you can see 250. You're going to see somewhere between 800,000 to $1 million more in practice value. That's a 30% increase in the practice value by bringing a traveling specialist into your practice and doing it in a way that is really controlled and has a lot of really cool features that protect you as well as your patient and the traveling specialist. I'm going to shift gears, and we want to talk about how easy it is to put a posting or a treatment share on our website. You have to fill out a personal profile. You do that once. You're going to have to make some decisions on what we call our e-commerce options. And basically, you're going to make those decisions once. You won't have to think about this each and every time. And for each treatment, you will have to fill out some specific treatment details that will help the traveling specialist determine if they want to do that case or if they think the patient's even a candidate. When you log into our website, this is what the entry page looks like. There's a video if you want to watch that. You're going to log in. you're already going to have your profile completed. That's something that will help you do when you want to get started. You're going to fill out this basic information. That profile information is going to feed and funnel a contract that was drawn up by lawyers from the TDIC insurance group. So we feel like we have a great contract with all of your information as well as the traveling specialist's information that will give you something to stand on as opposed to just a handshake and a slip of paper. You're going to fill out where you got your degree, when you graduated, what your license number is, who your insurance company is, what your insurance, when your insurance policy expires, all basic stuff, but you'll just fill that out once. And ideally, if you have some pictures of your office, you can upload those into the website, and a traveling specialist can take a look at it as they're trying to decide if they want to work on that case or not. Now it's time to do a treatment posting. This is what our page looks like, and we have Dr. Mark throughout the website, and if you have any questions, you can click on the video and he can kind of walk you through and tell you what this section's all about. But I'm pretty confident that once you've done this a couple of times, you're just going to zing right through this thing. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to establish what the treatment type is. In this particular example, we selected multiple implants, and it's for tooth numbers 3 and number 6. Now you have your first e-commerce choice. Do you want to take advantage of one of our e-commerce options? And you don't have to, but it does help you establish the cost of the treatment. So you could select one of the offers that we have going on, as well as, and one of the complaints that we've routinely heard from general dentists is that when they're restoring, especially an implant case, that there always seems to be surprises in the final bill and how much money the general dentist ends up making. With our e-commerce bundles, you're going to lock in what the cost of the material cost is of the treatment, as well as what the material cost is of the restorative aspect. That's really a cool feature to be able to lock that in and know, hey, here's the profit that I should be making on this particular treatment. If you don't know what you should be charging for a treatment, and a lot of general dentists don't when they first start off doing this because they've never quoted to a patient the cost of a specialty treatment. We have a feature that you're able to click on, and you can see what the last 10 slider settings were that general dentists were charging for similar types of treatments. I can show that on another screen. So here is the treatment valuation page. And this is where, frankly, a lot of the doctors will spend their time playing around with this and the final slider, which we'll cover next. But in this particular example, we're estimating that the cost is going to be between $4,000 and $5,400. Maybe there's a tooth extraction in there. Maybe there needs to be some bone grafting. So you kind of quote the price at a range that would make sense and cover the total cost of the treatment. You now can establish the material cost or the expense cost of this particular treatment. When you're able to do that, it's going to allow you to more accurately split the case, and we're going to cover that next. And then the last thing is the proposed split. So here's the area that general dentists really spend time on. In this particular example, we set it at a 40% split, 40% to the dentist, 60% to the specialist. That same split applies to the material expense. So if you're purchasing the e-commerce option through My Practice 9, you'll know what that cost is. If you don't want to take advantage of it, you don't have to, but you still would want to put in some kind of cost expense data so that this can be accurate, which will then roll over into your contract. So in this particular case, we're doing a 40-60 split. And one of the things that you want to think about when you're working with a traveling specialist is that an A day for a traveling specialist is somewhere between $2,500 and $4,000 a day. On a case like this, the general dentist is going to make less money, but you also are paying less in terms of the materials. And so the general dentist is going to earn about $1,500 off of this, and the traveling specialist will be at around $2,300. You would probably skew the split that way if you're just posting one case. If you're going to have multiple cases on the same day, you can be more strategic and you can kind of play around with that. Conversely, if you have a large case, and we work with a client who had a large full mouth rehab, total case was going to be about $45,000. Traditionally, if you did it the normal way and you had a 50-50 split, specialist is going to walk away with $20,000. You're going to walk away with $20,000. But in this particular case, the specialist was thrilled to do the job for $10,000. And then the $30,000 went to the general dentist. It's your patient. It's your revenue. You shouldn't be doing a 50-50 split on a large case like that. On a smaller case, you might give more to the specialist so that it's worth their while and you can get a great specialist coming in to do your work. Then once you've set the split, now you're going to start to fill out some of the basic information to that's germane to the case. The patient age, gender, a preliminary evaluation. You may want to upload some x-rays, CT scan. Then you're going to set the appointment information. And that's fairly critical that we get those dates locked in for the patient as well as for the specialist. And then you're going to set the deadline for receiving the proposals. I always recommend that you want it 10 days before. Your name, the state, the county, where the treatment's going to be performed. It'll all be anonymous on the post, and I'm going to show you an example of that in a second. Then once you've filled all that information out, you're ready to submit your treatment share. Hit the submit button and a post on our website. When a new treatment goes up on our website, an email and a text message is automatically sent to all of our subscribing specialists. I'm going to back up for 1 second. We do have a feature, and it says proposal invitation preference. And you can either send it to the general population of all of the traveling specialists in the Orange County area who are subscribing and participating, or you can also do an invite only, and you can send that specifically to a specific specialist. Maybe you have a working relationship with a specialist that you really like, and you'd like to see if they would be able to do it first before you would go to specialist B or specialist C. So we do have that ability for you to toggle and say, I want a public proposal or an invite only, a private proposal. Now your proposal is up, your specialists are notified, and they'll look at it and they'll be able to go in on their side of the website. They will be able to see all the information you posted about the case. If they have any questions, they have a way to anonymously instant message you. You can instant message them back. Again, this is all anonymous. Once you award the case, now the case is, you know, that the traveling specialist knows who you are. You obviously know who the specialist is. One of the other cool features about My Practice 9 that we saw as a huge flaw in what went on in kind of the informal handshake process is that you really never have a chance to review the traveling specialist. You really don't know, you know, just how well prepared they are, how they're going to work with you, your staff, your patient. It's just all kind of a handshake, and you learn the hard way. With My Practice 9, you can go in and look at reviews. You're going to be able to look at their bio. You're going to look at any of the pertinent information. You can instant message them before you award the treatment. You have a much better way of vetting who you're going to bring into your practice and who's going to represent your practice to your patients. And you can choose to be there or not be there. We've got some doctors that they schedule these kind of treatments on their days off. They bring the front office person in for a half a day. They run 2 or 3 treatments through the practice on a Friday, and the patient's happy. The owner of the general dentist is happy because he's actually making money and he's not even in the office. The specialist is happy. And a lot of times you'll bring in one of your employees to work half a day to assist the specialist, and your employees get an extra, extra work. So all of these things make My Practice 9 such a great tool for general dentists to build the value of their practice, serve their customers better. Let's just go through that. General dentist, you get to control the treatment process. Nobody's going to slip 6 implants in on a case that you wanted to. You'll have complete control when you have that treatment being done in your office. You're going to see the increase in income and gross revenue. That's going to improve the value of your practice. You're going to see more money on a monthly basis flowing through. And that money that flows into you, that's literally pure profit. Once you've paid the material bill, you're able to recognize those monies as pure profit. And I've taken you through a high level, high altitude view of how the website works. And it really is pretty easy. Got to do a couple of them to get them under your belt, and we're here to help you do that. But it really is pretty easy. And so as we wrap up today, and I want to be sensitive to your time, that I'm always available for a Zoom call, an office meeting. You can give myself a call at that phone number. You can email me at that email address. Either way, I would love to meet with you. I'd love to help you start to earn more money, to treat your patients better, and in all, have a better business. Thanks again for coming into the webinar today, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.